Good evening, my many loves. This is going to be new. It's going to be fun. It's going to be way easier on me. So, I hope everyone had an awesome Monday. Happy Monday, November 14th. I'm just going to hang out for a minute and see if people are going to join. Um, it's all going to be very weird for a lot of you. I know this. So I'm hoping that you all will be able to tune in and hang out with me in the evenings, just like you did in the daytime. And it's going to be way easier for me, like I said. And really, the only thing besides the time difference is going to be what's in the cup. It's hot chocolate and Bailey's tonight because somebody summoned the fall in Georgia. Oh, hey, Christy! Yay! Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Um, I'm super, like I said, I'm super excited to move this to the evenings just because it's going to be so much easier on me. I a 9 to 5 during the day, and yes, it's hot chocolate and Bailey's. Like I said, be the time and what's in the cup. It's not going to be coffee normally. So I hope everybody's having their drink of choice with me. Of course, non-alcoholic is completely okay because I don't have to get drunk to have a good time. Um, Christy says, and now I can watch you while I ignore my professor lecture in the background. I love being a good influence. Funny thing, growing up, I was not a bad teenager. I mean, I wasn't the bad teenager that everybody thought I was. I didn't do a single drug until I turned 18. Um, I was a bit promiscuous. Well, hello, Facebook user. Somebody says, I'm glad to see this on later in the day. I can't make the noon one thanks to work. Yeah, same. Same, honey, same. And that's why we moved it because it's getting harder and harder for me to make it during work because I take my lunch hour to hang out with you all. And the meetings are just getting ridiculous right now. So, but all the parents growing up, all of my friends' parents thought I was the bad influence. They thought I was the one introducing their kids to substances and I was keeping their kids out late and I was the bad influence when it was really all of their kids. I really wasn't that bad of a kid. I was pretty, I drank and I was promiscuous. But y'all, I didn't even smoke weed as a teenager. I didn't do a single drug sans alcohol. That includes smoking cigarettes. I never even smoked cigarettes as a kid. I don't smoke them now either, but nothing, not a damn substance besides alcohol. But I was the bad influence. Everybody's parents thought Mandy was the bad influence. So I don't mind being the bad influence. So if you're hanging out and you're just popping up as Facebook user in the comments, let me know who you are so I can give you a shout out. Because I'm trying to get my Facebook up over here. And sometimes that'll tell me who you are if I'm on the right thingy. But sometimes it does not. So just, put your name there. So yes, I'm glad that everybody's coming and hanging out with me in the evenings. Been super busy around here. Had one of my partners had a big breakup recently. So I've been giving him a little extra attention. had a partner move in recently, a new partner move in recently. Um, that's been time consuming. Hey there, user. Shad here. Long time no see. Shad? Shad? Sean? I don't know who Shad is. And maybe I'm just an asshole because I don't know who Shad is. Shade? I don't know. Help me out. And oh, the kid issues, always the kid issues. And just life. Softball started back up. Y'all know I'm a softball mom, and so I've been doing that. Um, you know, there's a lot to catch up on. I want to know what's going on with you all too. Chrissy's still in school, it looks like, until she gets kicked out for not listening to her professor. Maybe this is Shad. I used to watch your lunchtime hour before work got crazy. Yes. Thank you. I used to do my lunchtime hour before shit got crazy. So I'm glad that you could make the evening. I'm glad this is a better time for you. I don't really have any specific topics planned for this evening, except to just catch up. I want to talk about bodily autonomy. So that's autonomy in relationships, right? And breaking up, just because that's something that's been happening around me lately. Somebody said, hey S. Christy, one more year until I'm done. 7 years of school is too long. Girl, you are better than me. That was one of the things that got dropped in this last year. Like, I just didn't have time. I had gone back to school and I was going to Western Governors. I think that's where Christy goes to. And I just didn't have time, man. Just didn't have time. So props to you for making the time for that. It's awesome. Oh, my hair's doing a funny thing. I wish that I was able to do it, and I just can't. I got my hair cut. You can't really tell because of the groovy granny bandana. But I got my hair all cut off. Working on rebranding the show for the Mini Loves Lounge Hour. Let's see. Somebody else gives me your updates. Let me know what's going on with everyone. Not much going on with me, just working like crazy. Just started school to be a certified personal trainer and nutritionist. That's awesome. I have a couple friends that are personal trainers and nutritionists, and they love it. I can tell you that apparently they don't get paid a lot, but it's like teaching. You don't do it for the pay, you do it because you love it. So that's awesome. Super happy for you. Keep working on you. I got the Christmas cup tonight too, because it is chilly as fuck here in Georgia, y'all. Whoever summoned the autumn, somebody summoned the autumn, and they summoned it a little too much. It's a little chilly here. Let's see. Oh, more updates. Oh, want updates? Christy's partner and Amazing Meta are moving in. What? That's fucking cool, Christy. We got some more. I'm just trudging along in law school and booked a trip to Atlanta for my birthday. Fuck yeah. And that is S. I think that's Sean. And maybe that's Shad. Atlanta's super fucking cool, especially in the winter. When is your birthday? I am actually, I'm booking. I've got a trip in the works to go out to Albuquerque and see my long distance partner out there. Oh, it's Sean. To see my I didn't know Sean, I did not know you were in law school, honey. Um to see my long distance partner that's in Albuquerque around Valentine's Day. Um let's see. December 2nd is Sean's birthday. Somebody asked when am I coming back to Boise? I don't know. My LDB doesn't live in Boise anymore. And RelateCon's not in Boise anymore. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm coming back to Boise. I do love Boise though. It's beautiful in Idaho. Our community of people is amazing in Boise. Yeah. I always had so much fun when I was up there. I met the most incredible people. People who are lifetime friends. Love the people. Christy being one of them. Sean says he shares his birthday with Britney Spears and Lucy Liu. Not bad people to share your birthday with. I share my birthday with Amanda Palmer, which I think is super cool. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know when the next time I get to Boise is. I really need to go see my LDB. My LDB, my long distance bestie, that's Jen. If you don't know Jen Hyde, you should because she's amazing. And she used to hold RelateCon up in Boise every year. And I used to help her. And she moved to Oregon. So she's out in Oregon and she keeps trying to get me to come visit her. And I need to. Yeah, I'm sad she's not there too, Christy, because I mean, granted, there's Oregon too, but you're not in Oregon. And there's a lot of people in Boise, in Salt Lake City area that would come up to Boise for RelateCon. And I miss all of you. Maybe when you're done with school, Christy, you could do RelateCon. I'm just saying. It would give me a reason to come to Boise. I'd come present for you. And you know Robin would. Robin loves Boise. That's where I met Robin. My lovely Robin. Met her in Boise at RelateCon. So that's, that just gives you the level of amazing fucking people that you meet in Boise. Oh, Christy says we have discussed it and we shall see. I would love for you to, and I'm sure that Jen would love for you too as well. So, let's see. What else is going on? I don't know. I don't know what else is going on. I mean, that's a fucking lot, right? So yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to chat with you all about tonight was breaking up. And I had a partner had a big breakup recently. And he's having a hard time with it. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter how many other partners you have. A breakup still fucking hurts, just like a breakup in monogamy would. It just does. It fucking hurts. They're hard to get over, just as monogamous breakups are. Yeah, that's a super big pet peeve of mine for people to do that whole like, well, at least you've got so and so, and at least you've got this partner, and that's not. That's not how that works. Um, yeah, it's just not how that works. It's nobody would ever say, uh, if someone was mourning the loss of their child, no one would ever say, "Well, at least you've got 2 more." You know what I mean? It's so callous. It's so callous when you put it the same like, when you're mourning something, you don't just or you're mourning a parent, at least you got another parent, or you're even if you're mourning the loss of a relationship with a sibling or a friend, like, oh, at least you got all these other friends. Like that's just not how it works. You still get to be hurt and you get to miss that person. And it's still just so fucking hard to get through breakups, even if they're amicable or you're the one that wanted it. Christy says, I hate hearing that. At least you're poly, you've got other partners. It doesn't work that way. We love individually and we hurt individually too. Yes, that's a great way to say it. That pain is individual. It's not and it affects your other relationships, right? Like it breaks my heart to see my partner suffering. I fucking wish it worked the way that everybody thinks it does, and I could just go, well, at least you've got me, and I could just make him happy and make him forget. That's not how that works. I am not her. Um, but and then we have in that whole process, we had that feeling that's the opposite of compersion, right? We've talked about this before. It's that hurt for your partner's hurt, right? Whereas compersion is happiness for your partner's happiness. You have hurt for your partner's hurt. And Grayson, another amazing Boise person, came up with an incredible word for it, and I don't remember what it was. But it's hurt for your partner's hurt. It's that wanting to take their pain away. That at times I want to be vindictive and violent. Because that's who I am. Well, that's who I was anyway. But I just want to take his pain away. I just want him to not hurt anymore. I'm sure this is Christy. Oh, I miss Grayson too. Everyone moved away. Grayson actually lives on my side of the country now, but way up north. So it's not like I get to see him more often. Because he's not as far away, but he's still like further than like a drive away. Christy says, I've dealt with that, the anger and frustration for my hurting partner wanting to protect him. Y'all, I am such a mama wolf. My partners call me a mama wolf because I'm all about my wolf pack and all about protecting my wolf pack. And I hate it. I wish I could take it away. I wish I could take his pain completely away. So breakups affect not just the two partners, but your other partners too, because a lot of people get withdrawn. You go into your mourning state, I just want to be left alone, or some people go into like kind of a reckless state when they break up, where they just make like bad decisions. and are kind of very self-sabotaging, like drinking a lot or getting high a lot or like staying out and like that whole like the best way to get over someone's to get under somebody new, right? That's not a good coping mechanism. It's fun, not a great answer to a heartbreak though. So yeah, so you have to worry about your partner too. You have to worry about how they're doing and if they're going to be available for other things in life. I've done worse after a breakup. Okay. Well, Shad, now we all have to share all the dumb shit we've done after breakups. I've definitely done like the revenge fucks and like the just like I said, best way to get over someone's to get under somebody else. I've done that. It doesn't work. I've drank. Um, you know, trigger warning, I'm not going to go into it, but I've self-harmed before. Not the S word, but I have self-harmed. Um I want to hear the dumb mistakes that you all have made. Don't make me feel alone. Don't make me be the one that makes the shitty decisions after a breakup. Um I've been hurt and just broke up with somebody because I was hurt and I didn't want to break up with them. But man, I was so mad that I did. And I regretted it. But I think it needed to happen. Um let's see. Ooh, I've done the violent thing too. I've slashed somebody's tires before. Much younger, not current Mandy, much younger Mandy. Not proud of that one, but I have done that. Come on. I know you have some stories, y'all. Okay, here we go. Here's Shad. A lot of weed smoking, a lot of revenge sex, contemplation of self-harm and suicidal thoughts. Yep. So we've been there, Shad. We've been there. We're we are not strangers. Not strangers at all to the bad decisions after breakups. And those things happen even if you're ethically non-monogamous. That's the point of this, right? Those things happen. You're still going to go to those dark places. It doesn't matter how many partners you have. When somebody passes away, people still, which is what mourning is, right? You're mourning the loss of a relationship. You're mourning the death of a relationship. So people still go to those dark places, whether they have other people in their lives or not. My last major breakup, I just took time for me, 2 years, and just avoided hurt again. So you close yourself off, Christy, which is that's not healthy either, right? I got another one. Revenge sex and self-harm, manic spending to fill a void. Can I get an amen? You are right up my alley. I have definitely done that before. I have gone and spent way too much fucking money because shopping makes me feel good. And you know what I do? I shop and then I take all the shit back the next day, or I take most of it back in the next few days. But it makes me feel good to buy it. Let's see. Jonathan says, I just stay drunk for the better part of a week after breakups. Yep. Yeah. Christy said, avoidance isn't healthy at all. I literally treat clients with toxic avoidance. And here I am. Yeah. It's, yeah, avoidance isn't good either. 2 years. 2 years you shut yourself off. Yeah, and I'm with you, Jonathan, depending on the kind of breakup it was depending, staying drunk for a week. I've definitely called out of work and like hid in my bed for days at a time. Um, we all have different coping things. We all have different ways that we get through breakups. But the point is, all of these things that we all named, people do that in monogamous breakups as well as polyamorous breakups or ethically non-monogamous breakups. It doesn't matter however many partners you have, or it doesn't matter how many partners I have, I'm still going to get drunk for a week and hide in my bed. Like, I'm still going to make extra therapy appointments if I'm thinking logically and not, you know, if I'm treating myself well, I'm going to make extra therapy appointments. But, we all know that that doesn't always happen. So, that's the best way, right, to cope. Extra therapy appointments. Surround yourself with loved ones, not just partners, your friends, your family, your kids. Surround yourself with those people. Shad says, yeah, I had 2 friends talk me down from the S word because I felt like it wasn't worth it. And I just got into therapy right now and I'm doing a little bit better. That's awesome, Shad. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Everyone should be in therapy. I 100% believe that if we lived in Mandyland and I ran the world, everybody would go to therapy once a week. It would be mandatory. We would all go to therapy because we all fucking need it. Whether something bad's happened or not. So, but I don't run the world, unfortunately. Well, probably fortunately for some people, but yeah. Therapy. And I don't mean just your friends. They're great, but they're not licensed therapists that are good for you, that know how to handle situations, that know actual medical ways to get you back to a better place. So as much as we do need our friends and we do need to talk to our friends and we need to talk to our partners, they don't take the place of a therapist. And I know that comes from a place of privilege. I know that what I'm saying sounds very, very privileged. I know that not everyone can afford a therapist. There are some really great online resources now. That's something that the pandemic has done, is given us a lot of telehealth stuff and a lot of a lot more access to cash pay systems for medical health or for mental health. So I 100% recognize that statement comes from a place of privilege. If you can afford a therapist, please see a therapist. Even if you don't think anything is wrong with you, because therapy, we all need therapy. And I know it's hard to get into like the county clinics and stuff for therapy. But if you can do it, if you have the time and you have the patience and you have the resources, please. So, okay. So we've all been dumb. We've all had shitty breakups. Something else. Oh, Christy says, and y'all, therapists need therapy too. 100%. That makes me laugh because I've always said that that's the reason that therapists become therapists is because they can't fix themselves. Um, and psychiatrists because they need just as much help. Um, they fix everybody else because they can't fix themselves. Um, let's see, but other than that, pretty much nothing new, nothing these days. Nothing, huh? You're not doing anything? Um, let's see. Ouch, call me out like that, Mandy. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, Christy. Just keeping it real, baby. Oh, okay. So we've had breakups in my home, and we've had new relationships come up in my home. We've got new living conditions in my home, and I mean that I have a new roommate. I just got to the marshmallows, so I got a new roommate. One of my partners moved in. Um, he was spending a lot of time over here already on all his off days, and he hated his job. And the plan was for him to get a place anyway, and a new job. And so we just kind of, um, not in this economy, right? Get your own place in this. That's crazy talk. You've got to be a doctor to have your own place in this economy. Oh, excuse me. So, you know, it just made sense. It made sense for him to move in here. Um, ooh, yeah, my nose is funny. Oh, Mandy, that's exciting. I'm so excited for my partner to be here all the time. Christy, when is that happening? When is that happening? So your partner and your partner's partner, which is your meta, right? Your meta more. They're both moving in with you. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, what is wrong? All of a sudden, like my respiratory system is not playing. What was I saying? Oh, so your partner and your partner's partner are both moving in with you. You have room for that? That's a lot of people. We are lucky. So we have a very big house. When we got this house, I had two nesting partners at the time. So we actually got a big house because we needed it at that time. So one of them moved to Albuquerque. So we had the space, luckily. So, let's see. Christy says, yeah, it's a whole thing. I'll message you later, but it's happening next month. It's a very good thing. Is this your Canadian boyfriend or is this someone new? I know that Christy has a partner that lives up in Canada. But so we had the room and it just made sense, right? Because shitty economy and I want to be close to him anyway. We were spending all of our off days together and it just made sense. So that's been fun. It's been awesome. It's been an investment for sure. But oh no, not Canada boy. Christy says not Canada boy. But that's good because you still have Canada boy to go run off to then, right? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. But it's been awesome having him here. He got along really, really well with my kids before he moved in, and he gets along with them very, very well now. And of course, my kids are much older. Don't forget, I have like a junior and senior in high school, and then an adult child that lives out of the house. So my kids are pretty easy to get along with. They're pretty laid back. Um, so he got along really well with them. He gets along with my other nesting partner. Um, so why did this just shut off? Sean is singing Blame Canada Boy. That's not it. That is not the song. I don't. I don't. I know that I know the reference. I know this song is from South Park. I don't. I don't know the song though. So, um, let's see. Okay. Let me mention condoms because my show is usually and most often brought to you by One Condoms. So let me do that. One Condoms. I love these things, y'all. I know you've heard me talk about them before, and you can order them from their website, or you can win them on the show when we do giveaways. But they hold. This one has, I think I have 4 condoms in this one. Yeah, I have 4 condoms in this one. It holds 4 condoms in this cute little metal case that you can put in your pocketbook or your satchel or your overnight bag or your pocket. And it protects them. It protects your condoms. It's amazing. I love it. You know they're safe. You know your condoms are in one piece and they're all right here in this little tin. It's amazing. And we'll, you know what? Next week we'll start doing giveaways again for the new platform, the new rebranding. Because I have all these condoms that say the Minnie Loves Lunch Hour on them. That, I mean, we're not having lunch anymore. So I gotta order more condoms. So I gotta get rid of these. But yeah, so One Condoms has a fit kit that you can download. If you go to myonecondoms.com and download the fit kit, you measure your junk. So you've got a condom that fits your junk correctly. Then go to onecondoms.com and then order that specifically measured condom that fits your junk perfectly and use my code Minnie Loves for 15% off of your custom sized condom order. And like I said, next week we'll start doing giveaways for this stuff because their lube is amazing too, and I have a bunch of lube to give away. Move Lube is great. It is some of the best lube I've ever used. I personally love the little bottle. So it's deceiving. It's only this big because the bottom pops off and it's empty in there. So you don't have to have this little bottom part, right? It doesn't look like it's missing it when you don't have it on. But it's a little hidey hole. And I love hidey holes. So you can also use my promo code for lube. So go do that. Somebody asked, do they have non-latex? They absolutely have non-latex. Go to the website. They absolutely have non-latex. 100% they do. Also, let me pimp Probably Polly. Probably Polly is the podcast that we question even our name. I co-host it with Michael Haig and Sarah Lucas. Michael's actually working on putting a new episode out right now. It is so intelligent, y'all. The podcast, the Probably Polly podcast, is one of the things in my life that I take great pride in being part of. I love the podcast. I love what we do on that podcast. I love hanging out with Sarah and Michael to make the podcast. I have personally learned so much from Michael Haig. It's not even funny. He's got multiple degrees in ethics and language. He's incredibly smart. A phenomenal person too, might I add. Just a phenomenal person. I adore him. If you are intellectual at all, you will love Probably Polly. My role on that show is to dumb shit down for people. Because Michael's so smart that I don't understand what he's saying sometimes, so I got to dumb it down for me. But check us out on Facebook at Probably Polly, or if you go to the website probablypolly.com, we've got about 70 episodes in the backlog, like that you can go and listen through. So that's like on average of about 70 hours of podcasts. If you've never listened to Probably Polly, that you can catch up on while you're waiting on Michael to put the new episode out. So do that. It's yeah, it is. I am so proud of that podcast. It's such a good podcast. And if you're not a podcast person, which I know a lot of people aren't, that's why we have the lounge hour. So we can sit and talk and interact and not be as smart as the podcast. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, I got asked a question this week. I got asked a really strange question. And I wanted to see if you guys had any feedback for this person, because I didn't. I didn't have any feedback for this person other than like normal answers to ethical non-monogamy. The question was, do I have any do I have any specific advice for people who have a double V dynamic, like poly shape, right? Which, after it was explained to me, and after, like, that's not what that is. First of all, I've never heard of the term double V. I've been doing this a long time. I've never heard of a double V. The letter is a W. I know it looks like a double V, but we call it a W. But even then, it doesn't describe what this person wanted. What this person has is a square. Okay. Where person A is dating person B and person C. Person D is dating person B and person C. But person A and D do not date. Right? So What you basically have is two dyads that are dating each other. So they're dating and they're dating. Are we following? Does everybody follow that? Um, a lot of times you'll see that as a closed quad. You guys know how I feel about closed relationships. I don't feel that they're super ethical. I feel that they can be unethical. And I feel like they tend to be unethical. But just because you have a closed relationship does not mean it's unethical. But when you don't let other people do what they do, it's unethical. So I didn't have any like specific help for this person because I didn't feel like there's nothing really special about the relationship except that it just kind of happens to be with all the same people. Does that make sense? Even with a dynamic that's a square, um person A has 4 relationships. So they have a relationship with person B. They have a relationship with person C. They have a relationship with their meta, which is D, right? That they don't have a romantic relationship with, but they do have a meta relationship with. And then they have a relationship with the entire polycule. So if anything's different, that's the only difference is the relationship with the entire polycule. Because you do have to treat the entire group as a relationship because of the way other dynamics are in that relationship. Am I making sense, or am I just completely just throwing shit against a wall? So that was what I told them. Was the only thing really special is that you have 4 different relationships here that you have to nurture. But besides that, there's no specific poly resources or poly advice besides that you have the 4 different relationships, individual relationships that you have to nurture. That's all I can think of. If you all and I can bring to this person, then please speak up. But I don't. And I hate not having some type of advice for somebody because I've been doing this a long time and I don't. First of all, you don't really find yourself in that situation often. I don't anyway. And I think it's because I prefer not to have 4 separate relationships because of 2 relationships, right? Because that's what you've done. You have 2 relationships that are exponentially 4 now. I prefer to date more tangentially. That's not the word. More pointed in different directions. Again, this is not the smart show. This is not the smart show. That's probably Polly. This is where Mandy can't find the fucking words sometimes. I prefer to date more spread out. Where the relationships don't become exponential. Because I don't have time to have 2 relationships but nurture 4. Make sense? So if you all have advice for this person, I would love to take it back to them. But I didn't have any specific advice. Just that you have 4 separate relationships. Christy says, I've been doing this for a long time too, and I don't think I could balance it either. And Christy has been poly for over 20 years as well. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't want to sign up for that. But that doesn't mean that it can't be amazing or that it does happen. It's just not, it's definitely not something that I find myself in ever. Ever. But it's also not something I don't think I would want to find myself in. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't nurture it if it did happen. I just don't seek that out. Yeah. So okay, so we only have about 10 minutes left. So my question is, because I've had so many more people be able to log on tonight and hang out with me, with you. And I'm so excited about that I want to ask, what do you guys want to talk about next week? What do you all want to talk about next week? What's a topic that maybe you've been looking to speak about, that you've been looking for guidance on, that you've been wanting to bounce off someone? And let's talk about it next week. Give me some ideas now that we have so many more people, because obviously lunch wasn't working for y'all either. So let me hear what you want to talk about in the coming weeks. I loved catching up tonight, just so you know. Loved it. Oh, I do want to say, make sure if you're here in Georgia that you make sure and that you vote in the runoff election. Coming up the first week in December. Let's re-elect Warnock. Herschel Walker is a fucking idiot. And a puppet. Let's re-elect Warnock. He's done a lot for our state already in just the 2 years he's been around. Make sure you vote. Make sure you get your friends to vote, your family to vote. So that's important. What else? What am I forgetting? I don't know what else I'm forgetting. I got a message from Christy. I was like, who messaged me during my show? And I'll get back to that, Christy. I'll answer your message soon. I really have. I have loved catching up with you guys. Oh. Let's see. Accepting healthy romantic relationships after being in a bad traumatic one for a long time. Oh, I love that. I love that. And I'm writing it down. Healthy relationships. Accepting healthy relationships. Can I just say after toxic ones? Is that okay? Toxic / unhealthy ones. That's a great one. Because there's so much to unpack there. Oh, that might be a 2-parter, Sean. That might be a 2-parter. That's a great one. Thank you. Yeah, Christy, see, that's why I was single for 2 years, because it's hard. Oh, that's hard. That's a good one. Oh, see, Jonathan says it's so difficult to do too. It's so yeah, let's talk about that next week, Sean. Let's talk about that one. Because I think we have to do a lot of work on ourselves to be able to accept those healthy relationships after toxic ones and unhealthy ones. There's a lot of shit we have to unpack to be able to accept that love. So let's talk about that. I love it. Love it. Thank you, Sean. If anybody else has got anything else, feel free to comment. Even after we go off live, feel free to comment. I'll come back and read the comments and add them to my list. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. You're the reason I do this. I love it. I love hanging out with you all. I love talking to you, and I have so much love catching up with you tonight. So until next week, when we bring our drinks, probably toasty ones again. It's not supposed to get any warmer. So bring your evening drink and join me, Mandy Conant, for the Many Loves Lounge Hour next week on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Till then, my many loves.